Hi dear friends, how are you all? I hope you are all fine. I'm Aqib Azhar and our today's lecture is about subject, verb and object. So today we have to know about the difference between subject, verb and object. So before starting our today's lecture, if you are new at my channel, please subscribe my channel, like this video and share it with your friends. So let's start our today's topic. So it's about subject, verb and object. So today we have to differentiate between what's subject, what's verb and what's object. So dear friends, in our daily life we listen about these subject, verb and object, and especially in our formal activities and in our curriculum activities, in our school life, in our college life, we learn about subject, verb and object. That subject is doer of action, verb is action being done, and object is receiver of action. So it's quite formal example. So let's take some examples from our daily life, from our daily routine, from our normal life. So here is the first example written. Here is written Nick is talking to James. So here is written Nick is talking to James. So here are two friends. First person is Nick and his second friend is James. So Nick and James are sitting in the room and both are talking to each other, and in this sentence the example is written that Nick is talking and James is listening to him. So here Nick is subject because Nick is talking. So I will write here as a subject on Nick, and after that talking. So here talking is verb. Talking is verb because his action is talking. What's the action being done by Nick? Nick is doing action of talking. So his action is talking. So talking is verb. And whom he is talking, to whom he is talking to James. So James is object. So James is here object. So here we have cleared that Nick is subject and James is object and verb is talking. So here in this case Nick is talking to James, Nick is listening to him, so Nick is object and Nick is subject and James is object because James is listening to Nick and Nick is talking to James. So let's take another example. Here is the example, there is interchange of talking and listening. So here is James. Now in this example James is talking to Nick and Nick is listening to him. Now Nick is silent and James is talking. So here there is a change of subject and object, and in this example Nick was subject and James was object, but now in this example James is subject and Nick is object. So I write here James is subject. So here is example that James is subject and Nick is object and talking is verb. So here is action is same. So here is action is same. So in both examples verb is same, both are talking to each other. In the first example Nick is talking to James, James is listening to him, and in the second example James is talking to Nick and Nick is listening to him. So here James is subject, Nick is object. Here Nick is subject and James is object. So dear friends, we have another some funny example from our daily life. Two friends, one is Jack and other is Ralph. So Jack and Ralph are sitting, and in a funny way, in a funny mood, Jack slaps his friend in a friendly way. He slaps Ralph. He slapped Ralph. So his action is slapping. So his action is slapping. And who is slapping? Jack is slapping. So here Jack is subject. So here Jack is subject because he slapped him, and his slapping, this action is verb. And who is Ralph? Because Ralph was slapped by Jack in a funny way, so he was object. So here is Ralph object. And in second example here, in response to Jack, Ralph also slaps Jack. So because both are friends and they slapped each other in a funny way, friendly, they slapped each other. So here is Raf subject, and is here slapping is same, verb is same, and Jack is object. So my dear friend, it's clear from this example that subject is Jack here, Jack is subject and Raf is object, because Jack slapped him, so because he slapped, so he is subject, and his slapping action, this action is verb, and because Raf is slapped, so Raf is object. Here Raf in response to Jack, here Raf slaps Jack, and here Jack is object and Raf is subject. So it's quite clear from this example. Now let's take another example. Here is another example. He is eating a mango. So here is a person, he is subject, and what's action being done by him? He is doing action of eating. So his action is eating, and what's he eating? He is eating a mango. So he is subject, and then eating is verb, and mango is object. So here mango is object. Okay, dear friends, there is some other difference as compared to these examples and these examples. There is a difference that mango is non-living object. So it is non-living object. So in that example, these are living objects. So these are living objects. So if object, so now in this example, it's very common and very easy example that mango can't eat that person who is eating mango, because mango is object. Why it can't eat it? Because mango is inanimate, it's non-living object. So that's clear. But Raf and Jack, James, Nick, both are living objects and subjects of each other. So they become, so there is interchange of subject and object. So we have another example. He killed a snake. So here is the person, he killed a snake. So he is subject. Here he is subject, and killed its verb, and then snake is object. So he killed a snake, so his killing action is verb, and snake was killed by him, so it was object, and he is subject. Okay, here is another example. If some snake bites the person and is killed by biting of the snake. So here in this example, snake becomes subject, and bit becomes it is verb and its object. So here man is object because he was killed, he was bitten by a snake. So here is that example, easy example. There is another example. For example, there is a teacher, he is delivering a lecture in the class, and the students are listening to him. Teacher is subject and his students are object because they are listening to him. So when teacher asks some questions, puts questions to his students, and the students answer, when they reply, they will become the students will become subject, and the teacher will listen to their answers. Then teacher will become object, and their replying of the students is verb. So that is the difference between subject, verb, and object, that we took some examples from our daily life, from our daily routine, that these examples which I put in front of you, dear friends. So I hope that these examples are really easy and you have understood it very well. I have cleared you about subject, verb, and object. What's the difference between subject, verb, and object? So I hope that you have understood this lecture very well, and you will never forget the difference between subject, verb, and object. What's the difference between subject, verb, and object? So that was our today's lecture about subject, verb, and object. So we meet in the next lecture. If you are new at my channel, please please subscribe my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. So we meet in the next lecture. Goodbye, dear friends.